Good morning, guys. Gary from DIY Electronics. Today, as you just seen, I'm at the B-52 crash site here in Greenville, Maine. Actually, it's in a place called Beaver Cove. The plane crashed into the side of Elephant Mountain, and it's about 7 miles up the road here, and we'll get to the entrance of the trail that leads you up into the crash site on Elephant Mountain. I'll probably will film all the way in, but I'm going to have no audio on it. I may do a AI voiceover, just give you a whole rundown of what actually happened here at the crash site on January 24th in 1963. And plus the other thing is I got to really pay attention because this is logging season and there's still logging trucks working down in there. So I'm just going to put you on my dashboard and drive the 7 miles down to the entrance of the trail to the B-52. It's about a 5-minute walk, I hear, from the time that you get out of the car and get up to where you start seeing some of the parts of the airplane, because it's spread over almost a 2-mile area. The parts were spread out that far. All right, so let me put you on the dashboard and we'll drive the 7 miles in. All right, guys, as we're driving our way down this backcountry road towards the crash site, I'm going to give you a synopsis of what happened during this crash and somewhat after the crash. This is a little excerpt I got from Wikipedia, and I'd like to read it to you as we travel on up to the crash site. All right, this is from Wikipedia. On January 24, 1963, a United States Air Force Boeing B-52c Stratofortress with 9 crew members on board lost its vertical stabilizer due to buffeting stresses during turbulence at low altitude and crashed on Elephant Mountain in Piscataquis County, Maine, United States. 6 miles from Greenville. The pilot and navigator survived the accident. The crew's training mission was called a terrain avoidance flight to practice techniques to penetrate advanced capability radar (ACR) undetected by Soviet air defenses during the Cold War. ACR trainings were already been made over the west coast of the United States on what they called poker deck routes. This was to be the first low-level navigation flight utilizing terrain following radar in the eastern United States. The crew, consisting of 2 99th Bomber Wing Standardization Division crews based at Westover Air Force Base, Massachusetts, and 2 instructors from the 39th Bombardment Squadron, 6th Strategic Aerospace Wing at Walker Air Force Base, New Mexico, was briefed for 6 hours the day before the accident. They had the choice of flying over either the Carolinas or Maine. The B-52C departed Westover Air Force Base, that's the one in Massachusetts, at 12:11 p.m. on Thursday, 24 January 1963, and was scheduled to return to Westover Air Force Base at 5:30 p.m. The crew spent 95 minutes of the flight calibrating their equipment upon receiving updated weather information for both available routes. They chose the northern route, other than the Carolinas. They were supposed to begin their low-level simulated penetration of enemy airspace just south of Princeton, Maine, near West Grand Lake. From there, they would head north to Millinocket and fly over the mountains in the Joe Mary Greenville area. They planned to turn northeast near Sabumuk Lake and southeastern near the Kokadjo Lake to proceed through the mountains of northern Baxter State Park. After crossing Traveler Mountain, the aircraft was supposed to climb to an altitude over the Holton VOR station. 1 hour later, 2:30 p.m., the Stratofortress crossed the Princeton VOR, descended to 500 feet, and started the simulation of penetrating enemy airspace at low altitude with an airspeed of 280 knots. The outside temperature was 14 below zero, that's Fahrenheit. Winds were gusting to 40 knots, that's 46 miles an hour, and there was 5 feet of snow on the ground. Approximately 22 minutes later, just after passing Brownville Junction in the center of Maine, the aircraft encountered turbulence. When the pilot, crew, and commander of the Westover's most senior standardization instructor pilot started to climb above it, he was trying to climb above the turbulence, the vertical stabilizer came off the plane with a loud noise sounding like an explosion. Having suffered severe damage, the B-52c went into a 40-degree right turn with the nose pointed downward. The pilot gave the order to abandon the aircraft when he could not level it. Only the upper deck crews of the B-52c have ejection seats that eject them upwards. The seats of the co-pilot and the pilot and the electronic warfare officer function at any altitude as long as the airspeed is at least 90 knots. That's 100 miles an hour, which is the minimum required to inflate their blast-propelled parachutes. The lower deck members eject on the downward track, hence meaning everybody below deck, the navigator, radar navigator, cannot safely eject at altitudes less than 500 feet. No, 200 feet, I'm sorry. Spare crew members do not have ejection seats at all. They must use parachutes and either jump out of the navigator's hatch after the navigators have ejected or drop out of the aircraft's door. The tail gunner has his own unique escape option. He can sever the tail gun and jump aft out of the resulting hole in the rear. The navigator, who was operating as electronic warfare officer, ejected first. He was followed by the pilot and then the co-pilot. There was neither enough altitude nor time for the 6 lower deck crew members to escape before the aircraft crashed into the west side of Elephant Mountain at 2:52 p.m. So basically, everybody that had ejection seats got out, but everybody below decks did not have enough time to get out. It was just too close to the ground. So the co-pilot suffered fatal injuries, striking a tree 1 mile away from the main. Oh, hang on, I gotta change pages here. Main crash site. The pilot landed in a tree 30 feet above the ground. He survived the night with temperatures reaching almost 30 degrees below zero Fahrenheit in his survival kit sleeping bag on top of his life raft. The navigator's parachute did not deploy upon ejection. He impacted the snow-covered ground before separating from his ejection seat about 2,000 feet from the wreckage with an impact estimated to be 16 times the force of gravity. He suffered a fractured skull and 3 broken ribs. The force bent his ejection seat as he could not get into his survival kit out. He survived the night by wrapping himself in his parachute. A grader operator that's the grader operator. Somebody that was going into the rescue. He was a grader operator that took care of the roads in that area. A grader operator on a remote woods road witnessed the final turn of the Stratofortress and saw the black smoke cloud after impact. 80 rescuers from the Maine State Police, the Maine Inland Fish and Game Department, and the Civil Air Patrol, as well as Air Force units from Dow Air Force Base in Bangor, Maine, along with others of New Hampshire and Massachusetts and other volunteers, went to work to search for the aircraft. But they searched too far south and east to locate the wreckage before nightfall. After the crash site was located the next day, Scott Paper Company dispatched plows from Greenville to clear 10 miles of road of snowdrifts up to 15 feet deep. The rescuers had to use snowshoes, dog sleds, and snowmobiles to cover the remaining mile to the crash site. At 11 a.m., 2 survivors were airlifted to a hospital by a helicopter. Now, I can actually tell you that when I get to the crash site, there's a slate there that the 2 survivors, one of them passed away in 1998, and the other one had a question mark, so maybe they lost touch with him somehow, I don't know. But whoever made up a slate, it was really nice of them to do that. It's really nice, and you'll see it. Once I get to the crash site, I walk around that crash site for a good 40 to 45 minutes, showing you the debris field. I have watched other YouTube videos, and they don't show even 1/8 of the debris that is actually up on the side of that mountain. There's some benches up there where, if you bring up some older people, they can sit up there and rest, and it's they set it up really nice up there. But just the sheer size of the debris field is really remarkable. I documented on the video quite a few different parts, so a lot of you Air Force guys out there, or even aviators, maybe you can pick out what any one of these parts are. If it is the bladder for the fuel. That's one thing I didn't know about, was the fuel on that thing. Was it in a canvas bladder, or was it in a metal tank? I just found some blue fittings. I found some stenciling. Quite a few other interesting things that I did find up there. But one thing I did notice, I played back, I was walking out at the very end. At least I got a lot of it on film, but the very end of my trip up there, I was headed back out the gate, and I don't know if my camera overheated or what happened, or the battery died, but I lost the end of the film. But good 40 minutes up there walking around the debris field and showing you the aircraft and the cockpit and the landing gear and the wings and all kinds of different pieces. It's really interesting, guys. It's really moving if you actually go there. It's a very moving sight to see. All right, that's enough for the voiceover. I'm gonna lay this over onto the trip in, and I should be at the entrance to the B-52 crash site in just about 2 or 3 minutes from the end of this voiceover, and we'll see you there. Hey guys, I finally made it to the proper entrance, which is right up here. I'm gonna spin you around, and here we are at the B-52 Memorial. So today I'm going in to check out the B-52 site. Right here at the beginning. Looks like it's one of the engines. Yeah, it is one of the engines, I believe. You can leave me a comment down below. Oh yeah, that must be one of the engines. All right. Peace is our profession. Strategic Air Command. Alright, let's take a walk. Oh yeah, as I look left and right, you can see all kinds of pieces out in the woods here. So this is deep in the woods in Greenville, Maine, in a place called Elephant Mountain. More pieces over here. Wow, when that plane came down, it must have rolled and rolled and rolled up the side of this hill or mountain. Because, I mean, the debris field is huge. It's just absolutely amazing, the debris field. So I think it was the pilot and the navigator survived shortly, just for a short time after the crash, but everybody else didn't make it. They say that some of the guys didn't bail out till it was like 200 feet off the ground, and their chutes just didn't open, and they just met their demise on the side of this hill. I guess one of the pilot, I think he got hung up in a tree. I'm sure it's none of these trees, because this, we're talking, you know, 61 years ago. But his chute opened partially, and he was caught by a tree, and he survived. The navigator apparently survived, you know, for a short time after. As with the pilot did finally succumb to his injuries. But this is oh my gosh, this is amazing. Just incredible. I mean, there's just pieces everywhere. It's like, I'm gonna follow this other path. People have been coming out here. It's like I see pieces way out here. And right here. It almost gives me a feeling like this thing exploded mid-air. Well, what they say is it hit real bad turbulence and you know, something in the airframe just let go. Now we're talking 14 below zero with 40 knot winds. Wow, look at that. I don't know this. I don't know if my camera does it justice, but there's, I mean, it's spread all up along this hillside. But what I was saying was, yeah, when the accident happened, they hit turbulence. And when they came down, it was in 40 knot winds, which is, well, 46 miles an hour, and 14 below zero. Below zero. Wow. It was cold up here. Oop. That looks like it is the cockpit up here. Wow, my camera is just not doing this place justice. It's just incredible. Piece of it up in that tree. Oh wow. This is almost spooky up here. This is where a massive part of it landed right here. Yeah, I'll go down there to the cockpit there in a minute. Oh, that's a piece of the landing gear. Right there. Look at the plates for the brakes. Yeah. I don't know if that's nose gear. That might be nose. I'm not an aviator, so I'm just guessing at this stuff. Uh-oh, I gotta check my camera battery. Hang on, guys. Yep, I gotta stop for a second, guys. I gotta change my battery. Okay, I'm back. Got a new battery. Just incredible. What do we got here? I'll just bring that in for a second so you can look. It says the B-52 crash site is on Elephant Mountain, has been designated off limits to all future salvage operations, and the area surrounding the crash site is a no harvest zone by order of Scott Paper Company and Plum Creek Timber Company, which neither of those companies are here now. This is all owned by Weyerhaeuser. So I just hope that Weyerhaeuser has you know, carried that order forward and not let anybody get in here and salvage any of this or do any timber work. All right, let's go down here to the cockpit. Oh, good. We have a big, huge slate here. And it says, all right, let me get in close so you guys can read it. In the memory of those who lost their lives in the B-52 crash of January 24th, 1963. Lieutenant Colonel Joe S. Simpson Jr., Major William W. Cabral, Major Herbert L. Hansen, Major Robert J. Hill, Major Robert J. Morrison, Captain Charles G. Luxter, Technical Sergeant Michael F. O'Keefe. Dedicated to the survivors, Lieutenant Colonel Dante E. Bull and Captain Gerald J. Alder. January 24th, 1998 must be when one of them passed away, or that's when Captain Elder passed away. Lieutenant Colonel Dante Boley is, I think that's a question mark maybe. So there was 2 survivors. I thought they all had passed away. Yeah, I like this here. Pile of change. If you guys ever wonder what a pile of change is at a war memorial, I believe a penny. If you leave a penny at a war memorial, that it signifies just your, you know, condolences to the soldier and the family. If you leave a nickel, I believe you served in the soldier's same unit or something like that. If you use a, you know, leave a dime, that means that you actually know the person in your unit or whatnot. You actually didn't, you know, serve with them, but you know the person and they, while you were in that unit. And if you leave a quarter, that means you actually served with that individual. You were with them at the time of service, and not necessarily when they passed, but you did directly serve with them. So that's basically what all the change means at war memorials. All right, let's take a walk up here. Ooh, boy. So that was a cockpit back there. Looks like a big piece of the fuselage there. There's another inscription of some sort up there, but it's so old and worn out. Can't really see it. Wow. Incredible. Old generator of some sort. See all the windings and everything else on it. This is just incredible. I'm so glad I came up here today to show my respects for my fellow servicemen. Yep, I'm a veteran also. And it doesn't matter if these guys were in wartime or peacetime and they lost their lives. They did it to protect everything that you and I love in this country. Our freedoms and everything else that goes along with it. And they gave their lives just on a training mission. They did have their choice to go either here in Maine on this mission or North Carolina. I don't know why they chose Maine, where the weather was just so bad. A piece of the wing. Yep, piece of the wing right here. Let me see if I can get around this side. It looks like a piece of the wing. You guys tell me what that is. Like I said, I'm not an aviator. I'm Army. These guys were Air Force. Oh my gosh. Look at, so that right there that I just passed through, that is the main, looks like the main body of where the aircraft landed, and then from there when it hit, it just exploded and threw pieces for hundreds of yards. Wonder if they were carrying any ordnance. 1963, that's kind of curious. If they were carrying any ordnance when this thing hit. Of course, the government's going to keep that a secret. They're not going to let you know. Yeah, there's no way that that was there. Somebody's been messing around out here and throwing stuff up in the trees, because these trees weren't even here 61 years ago. You know, just people being jerks. Another piece, you know. Somebody just picked it up and jammed it in that tree. Ridiculous. It's like, come on guys, leave the stuff alone. You know, have some respect for these guys. And I'm at pretty much the top of it up here. And as I'm looking down, looks like might be another piece of the wing right there. I don't know what direction they were coming in when they hit. But that's the main debris field right down there. Whew. Yeah. People threw more stuff up in the trees up there. Wow, there's something way up there in the woods. Yeah, I'm not going up there. There's probably just a piece of debris somebody dragged way up there and pretended it went that far. It's leaning against a tree, which that tree wasn't even there 60 years ago. Just somebody being funny. Oh, another piece up in a tree. Another piece, another piece. Must be the thing to do when you come up here visiting, is you grab a piece and throw it in a tree. Wow, how ridiculous can you get? Come on, people, leave this stuff alone. Oh, what's that over there? It's like some kind of electrical motor of some sort. Let's take a peek. Nope. It's some kind of liquid pump. Some kind of liquid pump. Get a long roller on it. Yeah, not sure. A lot of pieces of the wing. A lot of pieces of the wing are still here. I bet you over the years the fuselage, the main body of it, people have stolen it because it's all aircraft aluminum. You would hope that the junk dealer would say, hey, where did you get aircraft aluminum? You know, I'm not giving you any money for that. Because I know that's stolen. I'll just take a quick walk over here. See what else. Oh, there's a big piece up here. Let's take a peek. And just, oh, another piece of wing. Or it could be fuselage, I don't know. Can't tell by the ribs on it, maybe. Yeah, I still see pieces out there. Probably close to like maybe 75 yards away. Let's see, I was 3 years old when this happened. 1963. Well, I didn't even go over and see that piece. I walked right by it. Let's go over and take a peek. That's probably the next biggest piece out here. Take a look. Hopefully I'm filming this already. Like my eyes are going somewhere else, and I'm sure the camera's going another direction. I gotta pay attention to what I'm looking at here. This is just the other side of the that landing gear from when I came up. Thank you, Amy and Dan, for just defacing this place. Tony, 1998. Thank you very much, guys. Really, you're awesome. I'm being sarcastic, guys. You know that. All right, let's look at this. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was in the service too, and I know exactly what these guys were up to. I've been on training missions before. You know, of course, I've never lost my life. I couldn't even imagine what that's like. As you're told to bail out at freaking 500 feet. That's pretty... That's something you never want to hear in your life, I'm sure. Another big piece there. Wow, I could go on for an hour out here, guys, and not even be able to show you every piece that's on the ground. And you know, now that I'm thinking of it, I'm sure that too that they had machines and everything else out here ripping this thing apart, looking for, you know, survivors. And a lot of this stuff probably is not in the original position of when it came down. I'm sure all kinds of investigators have been out here with machines and all kinds of stuff, tossing this stuff around. Oh, I forgot to
forgot to leave a penny myself. Let's get up the bottle caps. Oh, of course somebody shot it with a shotgun right there. Thank you. Idiots. Like the birds made a good use of it. Made themselves a nice little bird's nest in there. Oops, hung up on a wire here. Watch out, you. Oh boy. Crazy, crazy. Alright, guys. Alright, let's head back down out of here. I gotta tell you the truth. I got so turned around, I don't know the way out of here. So, I'm pretty sure it came in right up here. Toe point. Those must be, I don't know, maybe they're weights? I thought they were like brake pads or something, but that's all steel. And that must be where they bolted in. Ooh, look at that crack. That hit with some force. Must have hit a tree or something on the way down. What's that thing, guys? It's got oiler caps on it. What does that say? AN. That one's blue. Must be some way of greasing up the bearing or whatever was in there. Interesting. Oh yeah, me and mechanicals. I love mechanical stuff. Here's another one. Still has a cotter pin in it. See, the cotter pin is still there. Wow, look how shiny that is. What'd they use? Stainless steel cotter pins? And there's that oil cap again. Must be one on the other side. No, somebody took it and put a couple of flags in it. Down lock hole insert pin. I don't know what that is. Interesting. There's that might be the nose gear right there. All right, head back down the mountain. How am I doing on battery? Okay, good. Interesting. It's got red, white, and blue. Is that exterior? Don't know. Anyways, oh, I just tripped over a piece here and I'll put that back. There's pieces everywhere. See, this is very odd to me how this plane ended up in so many pieces if it did not explode. It just simply, it lost its altitude at 500 feet. I mean, it lost its aileron or whatnot at 500 feet. I mean, that's pretty damn low. And to make a debris field this big, unless, like I said, over the years, before they stopped it, people were in here looting all of this. And it ended up, you know, as they dragged it out, these pieces were just dragged everywhere. So, questions, comments, leave those down below. What do you think? I have a feeling this thing actually, when it hit the ground, it blew up. And won't that aluminum burn? That aircraft grade aluminum? Maybe not. Question, comments down below again. Let me know if this thing was to catch on fire, wouldn't it end up burning? Good question. Another one. What is that? Is that... I mean, this could be the Bombay doors. Could be anything like that, what these shafts are. Imagine that, maybe, you know, a nuclear bomb could have been dropped out of this thing. Look at all of the wiring. Massive amount of wiring. Another piece in the tree. I know, guys, I'm spouting off. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. But anyways, that looks like some type of intercooler. Not intercooler, what am I saying? Radiator. That's some type of bulkhead where all the wiring and everything else comes through. Maybe through a wing or something like that. But I bet you that's it. I mean, before they could even stop the public from looting this place, that's how this ended up in such a debris field, or it blew up. Now, there's a path out here that other people have been taking to look at more debris. So let's take the path. Another one in the tree. Let's see what's out here. See that? More wiring. And I'm trying to look at the wiring and see if it's been cut. That looks like it's been ripped away. Does that look like it's been ripped away, guys? Or was it pilfered? I think it was ripped away. Wow. This here, some kind of ballast or something. Looks like an air inlet. More pieces. I'm well over 100 yards, maybe even close to 200 yards from the main body, and there's still pieces out here in the woods, pieces in the tree. More piece. More pieces. More wiring. Oh, what we got there? We got some stenciling. Let's go over there and look and see what that stenciling says. Hang on here, guys. Maybe we can get some more facts from what part of the plane is with the stenciling they put on here. Let me put my glasses on. All right, look that number up, guys. AN3-4A. I think it says M10A-10-320. Strut access, leading edge, fairing number, and it's kind of broken out there. There's another sticker down there, but I can't see it. All right, so that says AN3-4A. Then the other one says MIDA-10- I think it's 32D. Yeah, that'd be interesting to look up and see what that part is. Let me get you another picture of it here. All right, guys, what's that part? Now this, guys, that has been cut. Somebody stole that. Yeah, all of this is that's been cut. Maybe the government even cut that. Maybe it was something to do with their radio or some secret control that they had to remove from the plane, that they couldn't let it, you know, get into the wrong hands. All right, where was I going? Yeah, these pieces still go and go and go. All right, I'm not going any further that way. All right, we got another piece here. No markings, no nothing on it. That's interesting. Of course, lots more wiring. Lots more wiring. More debris. Oh, we got some stenciling here. Something tank. It says tank. That might say OTR or OTH. Another mystery. Hey guys, is that an ammunition rack? Hang on a second, let me get over there. No, it's not. I thought that was an ammunition rack right there, but it's not. Some kind of clips. It had some kind of canvas. You know what? That may have been a... and let me know down in the comments. That could have been a... what do they carry on those Stratofortresses? 30 cal, 50 cal. That may have been where the extracted cases went down and were either thrown out of the plane or put into storage so they could be reloaded. During '63, I'm sure that they hung on to all of the spent cases, but during World War II and you know, Vietnam, those spent cases were just chucked right out of the plane. I just want to back up here a little bit. There's more pieces out here. Look at this here. This blue fitting. Look at that. Blue, what is that for? Is that oxygen? That might be oxygen. What color is the oxygen, guys, for Air Force? You are Air Force guys, you know. Oh, where am I going? I do want to go back up there because there is more to see. All right, I did that one. This is, oh, here's some more with the fittings. Let's see what color fitting this is. These are just metal gray fittings. I don't see any more of the blue fittings on that one, where it's in close proximity to that one. What were they using all this canvas for? Let me down below. What is, because it's a lot of these canvas. See this? This piece of like canvas, rubber, and it's got this bulkhead looking thing. It's a bladder, right? A bladder of some sort? Oh, fuel bladder from out of the tanks? Is that what they store their fuel in? I'll have to look that one up too. Yeah, all this canvas I'm looking at, the heavy canvas, could be a fuel bladder. I don't know if they use metal tanks because of the weight. Maybe they used canvas. And those are the bladders. Wow, I got a lot of questions about this place and what all the parts are. That's pretty cool. I love military stuff. Not too much, you know, World War II and that area, Korea. I love Civil War. I read a lot of Civil War books. But World War II, Korea, read some books on those. You know, I just love the history. I like to read it before it's gone because I'm not going to get into that. You know how people want to get rid of our history. They want to just pretend it never happened. Another piece. And I'm coming back down to the, you know, the gate. So I'm going to say that a lot of these pieces down here, this is all staged just to get you pulled further in, you know, to give you direction of where the wreck is. This was probably all pulled down here and lined up on the sides to get you to the wreck.